Joy, and students, from today I'm going to take your GK class. Okay everyone? And from the theme structures, students, we are going to do 2 pages today. First one is Lighthouse of Alexandria. Okay, this is on your page number 37, and the second is word scramble. Okay, this is on your page 39. So today we are going to do 2 pages, Lighthouse of Alexandria and word scramble. There are 7 old wonders of the world. Okay, so first one is Great Pyramid of Giza. Second is Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Third is Statue of Zeus at Olympia. Fourth is Temple of Artemis. Fifth is Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. And sixth is Colossus of Rhodes. And seventh is Lighthouse. of Alexandria. So students, today we are going to read about this, one of the 7 old wonders of the world, Lighthouse of Alexandria. So let's start. Students, we are reading Lighthouse of Alexandria. Okay, are you ready with your books? Okay, let's start. The Lighthouse of Alexandria was one of the 7 old wonders of the world. Students, I have already explained you about the 7 old wonders. Okay, and this is one of the 7 old wonders of the world, Lighthouse of Alexandria. Okay, it was built on the island of Paros around 280 BC to help ships to return safely to the busy harbor of Alexandria, Egypt. The mirror mounted at its top was able to reflect sunlight more than 55 kilometers offshore. See what is written here. It was built on the island of Faros. It was built on the island of Faros, and it helps ships to return safely to the busy harbor of Alexandria, Egypt. And there was a mirror mounted at its top. It was able to reflect sunlight more than 55 kilometers offshore. Till 1480, it was third longest surviving ancient marvel, after which its remnants were used to raise the fort city of Quebec. Okay, till 1480 it was the third longest surviving ancient marvel. Marvel means it was a wonderful thing, and after which it remnants. Remnant means a parts, you can say the parts that are left after the greater part has been used, or you can say removed or destroyed. They were used to raise the fort city of Quebec. Okay, next paragraph is ready for the next one. Okay, next is Ptolemy Soter, who took over command of Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great, conceptualized this marvelous lighthouse. Okay, Ptolemy Soter, who took over command of Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great, conceptualized this marvelous lighthouse. The construction took more than 20 years, and the construction was completed after his death by his son Ptolemy Philadelphus. Okay, Philadelphus. The construction took
more than 20 years, and it was completed by his son after his death, and his son name was Ptolemy Philadelphus. Okay, the main architect of the building was Sostratus. At that time, it was the first lighthouse in the world. Okay, the main architect of building was, who was the main architect of the building? Yes, Sostratus, and at that time it was the first lighthouse in the world and the tallest building in existence after the Great Pyramids of Giza, with a height of about 134 meter. Clear to all? At that time, this was the first lighthouse in the world and the tallest building after the Great Pyramids of Giza, with a height of above 134 meter. Unlike modern day lighthouses, the lighthouse of Alexandria had three basic structural parts. Okay, it had three basic structural parts, one built right on the top of the other. One built right on the top of the other. The lowest part was a high square staging the middle octagonal section. The lowest part was a high square staging the middle octagonal section. Octagonal means which are having the 8-sided, the shape having 8-sided. The top portion was a cylinder bearing the statue of Greek god Zeus. Okay, the statue of Greek god Zeus. The strong built lighthouse survived many earthquakes. Subsequently, in 956, 1303 and 1323 AD, and stood for nearly 2000 years. See what is written here. This strong built lighthouse survived many earthquakes in 1956, 1303 and 1323 AD, and even it stood nearly 2000 years. Though the structure vanished in 1480, but is still the symbol of city of. Though the structure vanished in 1480, but is still the symbol of city of Alexandria and appears on the flag and seal of the government of Alexandria. Clear? It was vanished in 1980, but is still the symbol of the city of Alexandria, and it appears on the flag and the seal of the government Alexandria. Clear to everyone? Now we are moving to the questions, okay, which you have to do yourself. This is your homework. Lighthouse of Alexandria was one of the 7 old wonders of the world. Lighthouse of Alexandria was one of the 7 old wonders of the world. Is it true or false? You have to write here. Name the architect of Lighthouse of Alexandria. Who initiated the construction of lighthouse of Alexandria? When did the lighthouse of Alexandria vanish? Or you can say disappear. Describe the structure of lighthouse of Alexandria. You know that it had three basic structural parts. So there you have to describe the structure of the lighthouse. Okay. Now moving to the next question. How lighthouse of Alexandria is remembered in present culture of the city? In the last 2-3 lines we have read how lighthouse of Alexandria is remembered in present culture of the city. Okay. Now there are some interesting facts. 17 cities have been named after Alexander the Great, none of which exist today except Alexandria in Egypt. Okay, 17 cities have been named after Alexander the Great, but now none of the city exists except Alexandria in Egypt. Clear to all? Now next interesting fact is the lighthouse was so famous that Pharos became the root of the word lighthouse in the French, Italian, Spanish and Romanian languages. Okay. Again I am telling you the lighthouse was so famous that the Pharos became the root of the word lighthouse in the French, Italian, Spanish and Romanian languages. Clear to all? Now students, I am sharing one video with you. Go through it. It is related to your lighthouse of Alexandria, which is, you know that this was one of the 7 old wonders of the world. Just go through it and enjoy it. Now students, we are discussing page number 39, word scramble. Unscramble the words to reveal some vibrant forms of art. Okay. Now first is a decorative art form in which colorful pieces of glass and stones are used to create a pattern. Now students, you have to think the name of the art in which colorful pieces of glass and stones are used. Okay, you have to unscramble that word and you have to write in this yellow box. Okay. Next is often described as one of the most creative art forms where colors are applied to a surface. This is one of the most creative art form where colors are applied to a surface. Okay. Next is the art form in which threads or yarns are interlaced to obtain various objects. Baskets, carpets and mats are some of the products of this art form. Again I am reading this. In this art form, threads or yarns are interlaced to obtain various objects. Baskets, carpets and mats are some of the products of this art form. Okay. Next is a traditional form of making products in which decorative items are made by hand or by using simple tools. You have to think the name. You have to unscramble this word. A traditional form of making products in which decorative items are made by hand or by using simple tools. Okay. Students, we will discuss the answer in the next class, so you have to do these answers in your book. You have to write answers in this yellow box. Today we are discussing till question number 5 till the fifth sentence. Okay, this is the last one. A widely known Indian art form where the floors are decorated with colored powder, rice and flower petals, especially during the festive season. Again, I am reading. A widely known Indian art form where the flowers are decorated with colored powder, rice and flower petals, especially during the festive season. I think you know it very well what is the name of this art, because most of you, I think, do it at the time of the festival. Most of the students, I think, make this art at the time of festival. Okay, so think about the name of this art and then you have to write here. Students, we are discussing till number 5, and this is your homework. You have to fill the answers in the yellow box. Okay, everyone?
Among the many cities founded by Alexander the Great, which bear his name, the Egyptian city of Alexandria is certainly the most well known. Located at the mouth of the Nile River, the city grew and flourished, turning itself into one of the most prosperous Mediterranean cities. Its port became one of the key trade hubs of the ancient world. After Alexander's death, the Macedonian dominions were disputed by his senior officers. The Macedonian general Ptolemy established himself as the ruler of Egypt, and the Ptolemaic dynasty started. As an Egyptian pharaoh, Ptolemy ordered the construction of a massive lighthouse on the small island of Pharos. This colossal structure would be known as the Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The building had a tower height of about 130 meters, something remarkable for that time. The Lighthouse of Alexandria was one of the tallest structures in the ancient world. The construction took 12 years to be completed. Made with blocks of white granite and marble, it marveled the sailors from distant lands who docked at the port. There was a pyre at the top that burned uninterruptedly. Its flame shone at night and could be seen from a distance of more than 40 kilometers. There was also a statue of Poseidon at the top of the lighthouse, the king of the seas, a deity greatly revered by Hellenic sailors. First owned by the government of Alexandria, it later became a Roman and Arab possession. But the lighthouse continued to stand out on the Alexandrian coast for over 1,000 years. However, several earthquakes shook the lighthouse's structure, and in 1480, the lighthouse was already totally destroyed. Taking advantage of its strategic position, the Sultan Mamluk ordered the construction of a great fortress to defend the port of Alexandria. In 1994, an expedition of maritime archaeologists found the submerged ruins of the Lighthouse of Alexandria. In 2015, the Egyptian government approved a plan to rebuild the lighthouse and flourish tourism in a city that was once one of the most visited in the world.
You have to learn these 2 pages at home and do the homework in book, okay? And then in the next class, we will discuss our homework. Thank you.